Welcome back to another Sorare video, and in today's one I will talk about if it's actually worth it to switch completely from Classic to in-season. I've seen different Sorare managers doing it, and some have had a lot of success and others not. I'll talk about which galleries will this change suit the most, and also not just that, I will go through all the benefits and also all the disadvantages. And let's start off with the benefits of switching, and I think one of the major reasons why so many Sorare managers wants to switch is because of the prize pool, because it's a lot bigger, there is a lot of cash given away, and we saw that there were going to be a big difference in terms of prize pool, and we have seen this come to reality, and also when it comes to how many percent actually win reward boxes and also cash. And also when we have the credits involved in the box as well, there is a lot of different benefits just there, and in general just less competitive compared to the classic season competitions. And also going back, there will be more boxes given away here, 50% compared to 25%, and not just, as I said, the cash also involved there, not just in the boxes but also in general. A lot of cash are given away through the in-season competitions, and also the European League competitions that Sorare have introduced for some weeks ago just adds on top of all these things. And there will be a classic season competition, but all the cash will be given away in the in-season competitions, and that is just in addition to the other benefits you'll be getting by playing in the in-season competitions. And as I said, also you will receive credits in boxes also in those competitions, but also in every single in-season competition, which is very, very exciting. And not just that, you will get in-season experience bonus. And now let's move on to the disadvantages, and let's start off with the price premium you are going to pay when purchasing in-season cards or early access cards, because I think in some occasions that price premium could be very scary, because you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself to earn that back throughout the season. So that is definitely something to take into consideration when purchasing in-season cards. And the next one will be chaos in the gallery. And just imagine if a football squad were to switch every single player in their team and get in new ones. Of course it would be a lot of chaos. You would have no idea how these guys would fit with each other. And I think it's a lot of similarities to Sorare, and I think many Sorare managers would experience that. And therefore I think in some of the occasions switching completely could be very risky solely for that. And also a lot of players you have made prepared for this season. Before the season you have prepared a lot, you have strategized through the summer, and then now you want to switch completely and you need to make decisions, but you haven't time as you did in the summer. You probably had 1 or even 2 months preparing, and now you need to do it in the international break where you have a little over 1 week. And this could be very, very scary, but of course it could be worth it. And now let's move on to the special weeklies, which I think is a big plus for classic season managers. Although it's very, very competitive, but I've seen that reward boxes is starting to be given away in those special weeklies, top 10% with a lot of essence, and also some cards given away in those boxes, which is extremely exciting and something we love to see. And of course, the special weekly won't have any in-season requirements, so this is also very, very good for you guys that are 100% in classic season. And also, in my opinion, it's probably the worst time to sell, because you have probably prepared for this season, and now there are so many managers with the same idea to sell and reinvest in in-season cards. And if you just think about it, if there are numerous Sorare managers doing the same thing at once, probably it will result in the price going down in the classic season cards. And this has been a topic for a long time, and I think a lot of classic season cards are in a very, very bad state. So therefore I think selling could be extremely, extremely risky. So therefore I would personally recommend to not do that either. And there is also more pressure to win, because you're paying a price premium. You need to yield back throughout the first season, and it could cause a lot of stress. And in my opinion, it could be worth it to just roll this over and wait, and at least wait maybe this season and prepare it 100% through for the next season after that again. And also losing your experience and also collection bonus. I will go through that in a second when it comes to which galleries will benefit the most from switching. And now let's look at 2 different galleries and talk about if it's worth it to switch or not. First of all, we have Kani here, and I think for him personally it could be very easy to switch from classic to in-season in some locations. You have players like Granit Xhaka with only 2.5% bonus, and also players like Gorn with 5%, Son with 5%, Vicario with 5%, Courtois with 4.5%. He have almost no players with a collection score of over 7%, although he has the Liverpool boys. So I would recommend him to sell almost every single player and reinvest in in-season players. but not do it with his Liverpool players, because he has spent a premium to actually get up the percentage bonus, and also these guys should be very, very competitive against other Premier League teams in general in the classic season competitions. But in general, I think this is a gallery that you could argue is a very, very good gallery to actually switch completely, because he has a lot of different pieces, but there is some pieces there with low experience bonus, and in my opinion, therefore a very, very good time to switch to in season, because he doesn't lose that much in terms of how much he had the cards in his gallery, and he could also do something in between. Vinicius Junior on 10.5%, you don't need to sell him. The same with Bellingham, 11%. Those type of players you don't need to sell, but the newer purchases, where you have them on like 5%, 3.5%, 5.5%, 7%, I think it's worth it 100% to switch a little bit to in-season, although he don't need to go all out, but I think that is personally what I would be doing. And moving on to another gallery size, which have gone a little bit different than Kane. He has prioritized more the in-season competitions, and not just that, I want to use this gallery as an example when it comes to switching from classic to in-season. Let's say he didn't purchase any of these in-season players, I want to use this as an example. Scrolling further down, there is some collections here, but mainly I think a lot of these guys could be sold and reinvested in season collections. But he has some collections when it comes to a South American club, and also when it comes to here, as you can see here, with DC United collection here. I don't think it's worth it to sell it, because he had bought a lot of players for the collection bonus specifically, and he will be very, very competitive in many of the classic season competitions. And I also think we need to include his Arsenal collection in that. And by just scrolling further down, we can see here Manchester City collection. I don't think it's worth it here to sell it. Also Liverpool collection here. And me personally think this looks pretty good. And of course he has a bigger budget, so he can afford to play in both competitions pretty big. So therefore I think if you have a gallery like this, just in classic with many collections and also a lot of players with high experience bonus. So if for example your team smashes another team 5-0, you will be on top of the leaderboard. I think it's worth it to not sell. And as I can say again, we could go back to my gallery. I have 5% on the Manchester United boys. I know that I have the best percentages on these guys. So when Manchester United or more if Manchester United smashes another team 5-0, because I don't think it's a matter of time anymore. I think it's a matter of if. I will most likely win the whole competition. And hopefully you have become a little bit wiser watching today's video, because it's a very, very hard topic, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of fun also changing around in your gallery and also making key decisions and seeing if it will work out for your gallery or not. And leave in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll of course catch you next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.